So my friends, welcome to a new crypto update video. Bitcoin at 87,900 US dollars. We broke through the 88,800 US dollar mark last night. I had to think about it myself. It sounded wrong to me. We haven't been this high in a long time. And thus we have also filled wick number 1 and wick number 2, which we talked about yesterday. Would a short position have been possible in principle? Yes, we talked about it yesterday. Problem 2, overnight, and I just don't like limit orders at the moment, which is why I definitely didn't go short here. Thing number 3 is that we might even get another chance, right? And even the bullish scenario might slowly start to gain momentum. What that is, we will definitely take a closer look at in today's update video to see what the plan is for the next few hours or for today. We will, of course, also look at the altcoins. We will look at the regular market, meaning the standard markets, and naturally also at gold, which just seems to have no end going upwards. If you don't want to miss that, feel free to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course feel free to join the free Telegram talk and signal group if you're interested in updates, news and signals. Feel free to join in. You can find the link to it below in the video description, and if you're still looking for an exchange where you can trade everything we discuss here, you can also do that with my partner exchange BingX. The link is also in the video description or in the comment section. Currently, you can secure up to 11,500 USDT in bonuses if you, for example, just register or also complete KYC verification. It's all relatively easy because just sign up and you're done. Yes, Bitcoin at 88,000 US dollars. Right now, our top, as mentioned, currently at 88.8. Yesterday, the plan was, and to be honest, I would have preferred it a bit because everything would have been a bit simpler then. But all right, yesterday, the plan was to go down again into the area of why it's low. I don't know either. Into the area of 85,700 down to about 84,700. That is still the plan. Should this zone hold, it's just, well, the risk, or rather the opportunity, that we might rise towards 92, even 95,000 US dollars is not bad at all. That means everything we are gathering here in terms of liquidity could still be flushed out down here in the next few hours. Especially if we, as mentioned, activate the vector candles here again, we can see for ourselves. Okay, 1, 2 vector candles that were not filled. It was then instantly recovered yesterday at the New York Open, and now in the last few hours we haven't really gotten any new ones. Importantly, what we mentioned yesterday were these 2 blue lines here, which we have fished. Those were wick number 1, wick number 2, both taken last night. That means we can remove them for now and look at how the further plan will unfold throughout the day. As I said, my favorite is still down here on 85.7, 84.7. If this holds, we probably won't have any problems going up here. 92.8, where the monthly pivot currently lies up to just under 95,000, where our last high from March 2nd is. However, I honestly don't go higher at the moment. Sure, we still have an inefficiency up here at around 97, 98K, but I wouldn't go higher at the moment. But as I said, all of this has to happen if we ultimately hold our support here. If we fall below here, it will probably get bloody pretty quickly and we'll head downwards. Let's take a quick look at the funding rates, which are still very normal. Yesterday they were a bit more negative, but today they've settled quite well again. Of course, significantly more longs have been added, which should also be mentioned. And if we look at the heat map, we've really worked through every little bit upwards for now. Downwards, there's still 86,000 US dollars, a very, very large amount of liquidity. Let's look at the same thing again on a 12-hour time frame. Let's take a very quick look at that as well. We essentially see the same picture. 86K and then down again at approximately 85,000 or 84,000 US dollars. So there's significantly more to catch down below. This means the risk or the hope that we go down here and ultimately pick all of this up is very, very high before we then either head towards 95,000 US dollars or, if the support breaks, that we will fall back down through it. All right, let's move over to the altcoins. It doesn't really look, well, mega good there. We already talked about Ethereum yesterday, but honestly, it doesn't look good. So again here, back at the golden pocket, by the way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times now at the golden pocket, and we never have the strength to break through up here. We just can't manage it. Not really bullish. Downwards again in the wick, which we have now, from, when was that? Wednesday, April 16th, we have now filled it. But here too, the same game. So in the end, it would probably be even better here if we go down again into the golden pocket and then try with momentum, like with Bitcoin, to break the 95K, which would then be the target here at Ethereum 1,750. But as I said, I already mentioned it in the video yesterday, keep your hands off altcoins at the moment. It just doesn't bring anything. Absolute shitcoins at the moment. It doesn't matter which altcoin. With Solana, the same game, so also somehow the air is out with the altcoins, to be honest. Nothing is happening here either. We leave it as it is, just as we said yesterday. Either that happens, or we will simply experience another sell-off downwards, which I currently even expect a bit more because the volume is very, very weak. Divergences everywhere in the time frames. It doesn't matter which time frame we look at. It doesn't really look bullish. If we still manage to come up here beforehand, it is definitely a shorting opportunity. And example number 2. If Bitcoin then moves towards 95,000 US dollars or should, then we will probably also see Solana at 165 to 184 up here. This is a midterm target, depending on how Bitcoin holds up over the next few hours. So keep an eye on it, but otherwise stay away from it. I'm not going into any altcoin charts at the moment, I'm telling you that right now. Yes, let's move over to gold. Gold is continuing to the moon. Gold is continuing to the fucking moon. So as I said, whoever shorts here, I think it's their own fault, because the risk with gold is simply way too high. I'm also going to remove our line here now. Although the plan is still to see a correction here, I'm telling you honestly, shorting here is suicidal and in my opinion makes no sense at all. The golden pocket has now shifted to 3,160. Will we see this area again? Probably more likely than my area, or the area I would like to have, at around 3,060 US dollars. But well, let's wait and see if it doesn't still happen that way. But in itself, yes. If so, the plan would simply be to continue the correction potential down to here, and then keep going to the moon towards 4,000 US dollars. But to do anything here at the moment, no matter what, we talked about it yesterday, there are divergences and other things. If you don't have an opposing position open, meaning no long position, and then want to gamble a little, in quotes, you can do that. But I wouldn't just instantly go into a short position without any position and hope that gold collapses here. Because as long as the money continues to flow out of the US dollar and then moves towards gold or also into the euro, it doesn't make any sense at all. So this is just normal Forex trading. In the end, it's about trying to offset the weak US dollar with gold, with other things, and so on. And if you delve into it a bit, you'll understand all of this. It's not meant to be offensive, but ultimately, it's just normal Forex movement that's currently happening on a large scale. Let's move over to the traditional markets. The German Light Index DAX has its first day today. Let's see. The US stock markets were relatively, well, not really bullish, not really bearish yesterday, but good for a first trading day, okay? But I even suspect, because as I said, we currently have a strong euro. The euro is at €1.15 DXY, or rather the US dollar continues to weaken. Not really good. No one is really keen on buying US stocks or anything else. That means our scenario, which we discussed here, scenario number 1 down here into the golden pocket, with the Dow Jones has occurred, but the movement out of the golden pocket is not really bullish. We don't want to see that. Therefore, I suspect we will continue to stay out for now. We will remove the golden pocket here. We will also remove this movement, and honestly, I rather assume that we will see another lower mark, and then probably even towards $35,000 with the Dow Jones. And the same game is ultimately with the S&P 500, which looks absolutely weak. Of course, counter movements can always occur, but at the moment, I simply wouldn't go long on anything with such a weak dollar. And here we have the euro as a prime example. We have a massive divergence here. The question is, does it bother him? Weak volume, divergence and such. Normally the market should slowly collapse sooner or later, but as long as there is no hope for the US dollar or the Fed intervenes to some extent, we don't need to prepare for that. That's the short version. And otherwise, I would say live stream tonight at 7 o'clock because I can't make it on Thursday. That's why we're moving it to 7 o'clock today on my YouTube channel. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And otherwise, I'll post the link later in the Telegram groups on YouTube and so on. But otherwise, 7 o'clock on this channel, activate the bell so you get notified. And otherwise, that's it from me. We'll hear from each other later in an altcoin update video. And yeah, until then, bye-bye. And as always, stay green.